So I'm really excited for this because it is a new type of chess line. Basically how it works is that along these lines, depending on the chess piece, the numbers must move according to the chess piece on the number pad. So if you look at your numpad, for example, if it's a knight line, and you start with the number 1 on one side, the next number has to be a 6 or 8. So it's a knight move on the number pad. And a number like number 5 is invalid anywhere except for 0, but there's no 0 in Sudoku, so at least in this one. Um, so yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. The only other one that's a little bit different is the pawn move. Hey JC, how are you? Pawn can go one cell up, one cell down, so no diagonal movements, no en passant, nothing fancy with that. But yeah, you guys been enjoying these videos. I have managed to get a backlog going again, so hopefully these videos will keep coming, but do leave a like, leave a comment, of course. They always help me keep motivated. Happy Chinese New Year as well. This, by the way, this puzzle literally just came out yesterday, so I thought I have to do this, try to get this in before CTC gets it going. All right, that said, let's get started here. So immediately my eyes are drawn to any of the knight lines because again, I said 5s can't go on these knight lines, so that's true for these things. Rooks can be anything, bishops can be anything, queen can be anything. There's a pawn line over here. So yeah, I think realistically the only one that is restrictive is this knight line. Now this zigzag, I wonder if this has any significance, because just like in chess where a light square bishop can only stay on light squares and dark square bishop can only stay on dark squares, in this case, if we have two types of bishops, right? We have an odd number bishop and we have the even number bishop, because I don't think there's any other way. Yeah, so that means this entire line has to be either odd or even. So this entire line has to be either odd or even, which is very powerful actually, because that tells us, can these all be the same? Well, okay, the rook line will have to be the opposite, right? So this will have to be all even or all odd. This will have to be all even or all odd. And rook can definitely just move along that way. They can go from like 1, 7, 9, 3. Well, actually, if it's even number, it'll be difficult, right? 4, 6, then it can't go 8, 2. So I think odd, so rooks have to be odd, and this makes this an even line. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That leaves all this. That makes this a 5, I think. Yeah, because then the other 4 numbers can be reached in some way, shape, or form. So they make a little box. And 1 can't go into a 9 and 3 can't go into 7, but other than that, I think it makes sense. Similarly here, a 4 can't go to a 6 and a 2 can't go to 8, but otherwise they draw a little diamond. Okay, so we got the 5 here, so this is the 5 as well. There's a 5 in here somewhere, and this 5 means it's an odd thingy thing. So these numbers can be that. Now, the tricky one is this connection here to get to the 5 again. So it goes 5. So it could go like 5, 9, 1, 5, right? So these two have to be along the same diagonal. They're either 9, 1 or they're a 3, 7. 9, 1, 3, 7. And this one could be anything. Okay, so we made some progress. Now, without another line restriction, this rook is less powerful. We don't have to worry too much about that. How about here? Yes, this one's interesting, right? Because if this was I can only go up and down, so this is basically a modulo 3 line, right? So it's either 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, or 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9 is impossible because we need a 3 and a 9 on this line. So in order for this to be 3, 6, 9, 3 and 9 have to be out here. Same with 1, 4, 7. So this must be modulo 2, 5, 8. Okay, so that's 2, 5, 8. And then the king line is also affected by this now too, right? So the king also have to be a modulo. So there has to be a 4 or 6 on this line within there. And then the other number is either 7, 9 or 1, 3. 4 or a 6 in here, which means 4 or a 6 is in here. We have a 2, 5, 8, we have a 5 here, so there's a 5 down here. 2, 5, 8. What are we missing? We're missing a 4 and a 6 in here somewhere. One of the 4 6s in here, one of the 4 6s in here. The 4 can't go into a 6, so the other 4 6s in here. So this effectively has a 4 6 pair in here. And then the other 4 6s up here somewhere. So 4 6, one of the 4 6s. I don't think that's helpful at all. Okay, where do we look next then? This is a king line. Okay, this is kind of cool. This is a king line. It starts with a 7, right? So the 7 can go to 4, 5, or 8. And then from there, it really can go into a lot of places. But at least this first number is a little bit restrictive. So, and this one can't be a 7. So we know it doesn't start with a 7. So it either starts with a 1, 3, or 9. Because 1, it can go into 3 or 7 and into a 9. 3 can go to a 7 here. I think that's really restrictive. We just know that there's a 7 in here. Okay. Now, what do we look? I think as soon as we put a number on this line, it's gonna be really good. We should maybe think. Let's think. You know, you can basically draw like a star on the number pad using the night line and hit every number except 5. So you could go like 1, 6, 7, 2, 9, 4, 3, 8. It's basically like making a magic square, kind of. So that's not particularly helpful, except for eliminating the 5. Okay. Well, this can't be a 5. Okay, that does restrict, because I was worried because a 5 can go into literally explode into any number, right? So we can go 7, 4, and from the 4, it can't go to a 5, can't go back to a 7, it can go to a 1, 2, or 8. And then the 8 can go to a it could go back to 7, couldn't it? Oh, shucks. Let's go back to a 7. Six, 9, 4. It can basically go into any number except for 3. Except for 3. Or 5. That's not particularly helpful. Okay, well, get rid of that. Okay. Where next? I guess. Okay, well, we know 5 is up here, right? And then 5 is down here. Not that restricting. This king is boxed out by this pawn. It must use a 4 or a 6. Okay, maybe let's try coloring the 4 6s. So this is one 4 6. This is the other 4 6. There was a 4 6 in here. This is both the 4 6s down here. And we know that the orange 4 6 has to be here. Does that help us anywhere? Hmm. 4 6. 2 8. Well, 2 8 can't go in here, right? So the other 2 8 must be down here. One of the 2 8s is down here. The other one be here. and then here. That's not particularly helpful either. I'm gonna keep referencing my number pad down here. You're thinking about these lines. Okay, let's look at this knight line. I'm gonna try to see if it has any influence on this, but I don't think so. Don't think it does. One, 6, 7, like it literally hits every possible number when you're hopping around. Let's get rid of this coloring. Didn't really help, fortunately. I wonder if 7 has to be here. Like this has to be a 7-4. But like 7 could be down here, right? Because only this number is restricting us. Okay. How about we look at this rook again? This rook is not restricted at all. Yeah, I'm a little stumped. We know that this pair gets split up to here and here. One of the 4 6s is here, one of the 4 6s is here, 2 and 8 is here, so this has to be an odd number, and that is not 5, so this is another 139. Okay. I wonder if this ends up being a odd even parity type puzzle. This king will have to have one odd even on it. So let's try coloring odds and evens a little bit first. So let's see where that takes us. Who knows, maybe there's something cool about how these pieces move. This is an odd even pair. We have 2 evens. Then we have one more odd even here. And one more odd even in here. The knight, I wonder if it always goes from odd to even to odd to even, right? 1 to 6, 7 can go to 2 6, 3 can go to 4 8, 9 can go to 2. Yeah, okay, so this becomes like an odd even parity type thing. It's kind of interesting. So this is either 2 odds and an even or 2 evens and an odd. And then the rook is not really restricted at all. The king, however, right, from the 4, because it can't go to the 5, but it can go to the 2. That 2 ruins it. Otherwise, if it can't go to the 2, well, no, it could also go to the 8. So never mind. was gonna say maybe the king could also be fluctuating, but it has to be restricted by a different number first. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at this. Maybe we can force a situation where we might need to put too many odds into this line. So let's take a look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So there's going to be 3, 3. Shoot. That's a little bit too perfect. 3 and 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Darn. It could still be odds. That's very annoying. But we will shade it something different, I think, because this might matter. Just shade it something different for now. Use checker patterns. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is always even because now we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so it's 2. So this is an even number. Okay, that helps. We got one extra thing out of it. So now we have 1. If these are both evens, then these will all have to be odds. Which is that doable actually? Because from a 4, the only odd numbers that 4 can touch is 1 and 7. Right? And then from 7, because it can't go to 5, it'll have to go to 8, which is an even number. From 1, it can't go to 5, you'll have to go to 2, which is also an even. Okay, so from 8, the only odd number 8 can go to is 7 or 9. And then, again, because they can't go to 5, they can only go to an even number. So these can't be even, so these must be odds. These must be evens. Just so we have one room to go into an even from here. And where we use it doesn't really matter, but what that means is this is an odd even, this is an odd. And our one odd number up here is a 5, which means these are 139 as well. And now we have a 139 triple over here. Which, not handy just yet, but maybe will be soon, hopefully. Okay, but I'm liking this direction so far that we've chosen. We have all these things, so these are all must be evens. This must go odd, even, odd now. And these are all odds, which makes this an even, this an odd. Okay. Now we know this is indeed one of each, and this is one of each, and it's one of each this way as well. So that's kind of cool. Okay. 1 even, 2 odds. 1 even and an odd. 2 evens and an odd up here. No, that's not right. 1 even and 2 odds up here. So this number and this number are the same number. I don't know if that's worth marking that, but I'm just going to put that in for now. So these two are the same number, which makes one of these that number as well. This number has the potential to be here, but it could also be down here. Okay. We have a 139. This rook has to hit at least one even number. It's crazy that we have 4 odds in here, no evens. Doesn't really help us much, though, fortunately. About dried up here. This number is down here. Is it one of these? I think we've said this one before already. Oh, this is interesting. This 139 relationship here, right? 139 relationship. They need to have a number that's shared between them. And now, if you guys know knight's move in chess, one of the most difficult thing for a knight to jump is the square right next to it and the square one diagonal from it, which makes me look at 1 to 9 as a very difficult maneuver. Like, how do I go from 1 to something to 9? And I think that's actually impossible. Right, because 1 has to go to 6 or 8, and both of them are right next to 9, which we know is also a very difficult knight jump. So one of these numbers has to be a 3, and then it has a pivot on either 8 or 4. So one of these numbers is a 3, this is not a 3, and it has to go to 4 or 8 in order to hit 1 or 9. Similarly, one of these numbers has to be a 3, right, for the same reason, and this again has to be a 4 or 8. Now, that doesn't mean this number has to be 3. It could be this number. It could be these numbers as 3. And then this is the pivot square. That's totally possible. Or is it? No, it's not. Because if this was a 1 and these were 3s, then both of these would need to be 8. So this has to be the 3. So this is not the 3. That is not the 3. And then these are two different numbers, and it pivots to two different numbers. So this is 1, 9. So we might go back to lettering here. So this would be a B. And then this is not the same as this one. It must be this number. That would make this a C. So this number, therefore, is either C or 3. And this is either C or 3. A, B, C. One of these is a C. Is already asleep? Oh, wow. Kid fell asleep early today. Okay. One of these is a C. Does that help us anywhere? We know one of these numbers is a B. One of these numbers is the C. "4848" means that this is a 2-6. That much we know. Oh, actually, that might help us. 2, 6, and 2, 1 or 9, and only 6 works. No, there, 2 does work. 2 goes into 9. Shucks, so close. So close. But that does hint to me here that this must be a 2 or a 6, right? Because 1 can only go to 6 or 8, and we're using the 8 here for the 1. So this will have to be a 6, and then 9 can only go to 4 and 2, and we're going to be using the 4 here, so this must be a 2. Okay. And again, these are two different numbers, so that might be worth noting. Two different numbers. Okay, and then from here, we would go 2 or 6. 2 or 6 can go into a whole suite of numbers. It can go into anything except a 3. So 1, 7, or 9. 1, 7, or 9. 1, 7, or 9. I'm hoping this will end up being a 4, 6, or a 2. Or sorry, a 2, 6, or a 4, 8, which will be kind of helpful. 1, 7, 9. If it's a 1, it can go into 8, 6. No, I think everything's available. 9 can go into 2, 4. Yeah, that's already every number. Shame. So close. Oh, but this number, this is E, isn't it? Because this number can't be this number, and it's not this number, and it's not a 4, 8. So this is E. That's E. That makes this, A is 4 or 8. That's cool. This is a 2, 6, and this is our other 4, 8. Which makes this D. I guess we'll call this one F. Just to fill it in. Oh, we didn't give this one a letter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, other 48. That makes... actually, this could be an F, couldn't it? Oh no, sorry, this is an F. What am I talking about? We already have a 48 as an A here. And that. Okay. Alright, so this is A. A is a 4 or 8. 4 or 8 can go to... Or it could go to any of the numbers. Except for... Well, it could go to 6 if it's an 8. We have to think about the relationship here, right? Because they are attuned to a certain number. So, if this was a 4... If this was a 4... It was 4, 3, 8, 1, 6. So 4 and 6 are aligned, 2 and 8 are aligned. Oh, so basically they're opposite from each other. 4 and 6. So this was a 4. This cannot be a 6. 4, well, 4 can't go to 6 anyways. It'll go to 2, 8 on a bishop line. So that's not very helpful. And then 8 can't go into a 2, but it can go into a 4, 6. So that's not helpful at all. Darn. Drat. But we do see that E is eliminated from both of these, so this must be E. That's the 2, 6. E. And 2, 6 could go into any of the other ones. One of these is F, one of these is D. Okay, what is actually what is left here is an E. Darn. E is left over here somewhere. And F and D are left somewhere. Okay. We haven't, so one of these is a 3. And you know what? 3 can't go into a 2 or 6, so this is our 3. Oops. This is our 3. This is not a 3. This is a 1, 7, or 9 again. That is different than this. In fact, this is C, isn't it? This can't be a C, and this is no longer C. This is a C, which means it's not a 7. This is a 7. 7 can go to both 2 and 6, and it'll go into the same one. It goes into the same one. Okay. I think we probably could have got that logic somewhere else. But anyways, 5 goes to 3. Then has to go to, from 3, it can only go to 5 or 7. So we're going to 7, back to 5. And then from 5, we can go to anything except a 7. Well, we already have a 1, 9 in line, so this must go into 3. That's the 1, 9. That leaves a 3 in here. So we know that this is, therefore, C as well. These are not 3s. We are missing 3 down here, so this is 3, 4, 6 now. Oops. When I'm in letter mode, I can't use my number pad to corner mark letters, which is kind of weird. That's fine. We still can use the number row on the top of the keyboard. Okay. 4 and 6. Ah, darn. I was going to see if 4 and 6 would eliminate something there, but nope. Okay. Okay. Where does that leave us then? We have this A, right? A is a 4 or 8, which can go into a lot of numbers. It can go to anything except a 7. So we're talking about 1, 3, 9, but 3 is gone. 3 is gone. So 8 will have to go to... Ooh, is this a problem? If we're missing a 3, and we can't pivot back onto the 3, then. We might have broken it. We might have borked it. Is it here that we borked it? Could this have been E? No, because this is... These two are different numbers. Unless I'm mistaken about this being 4 or 8. This number is the same as this number. It's the same as one of these numbers. This number is the same as this number. It's the same as one of these numbers. Could it have been E? Which would make this one, basically we flip E and A. Like if this was E and these were A instead, then this would be a 2, 6. How do we end up with this being A? Okay, let's just reconfirm that this might be broken and then we'll rewind real quick. Right? Because if there's a 3 here, and I think that is correct, if there is a 3 here, there's no way that this will work with 4 or 8. Because they would both require the 3 on one of the ends. Okay, so let's rewind. Is the 7 being the issue? Well, we determined that. Let's go all the way back to when we decided that that was going to be A. It was right here, wasn't it? Let's go back just a couple more steps here. Okay. Yeah, because this is where we got a little bit weird with our pencil marking. Let's take away the A for now. I think that might have messed us up a little bit. Let's take away the A for now, right? Because we know this is this, okay? We don't know which one of these is that. So, these two are different letters. We don't know which is which. We determined this is different than this, right? So if this is a 2, 2 would go into the 9, 2, 9, 4, 3, 8, 1, 6. Started with a 2. So these are indeed two different letters. So we'll give this one back to E. But from 2 or 6, 2 or 6 can go to 1, 7, or 9. That's still true. Okay, 1, 7, or 9 can go into anything. But it can't go back into this 2, 6. Could it go into 4, 8? 1 could go to the 8, 9 could go to the 4. We had a question though. Yes, where does this E go, right? So this E must go here. So this is E, and this is indeed 2, 6. And I think this is where we messed up. Because we assumed at this point that E couldn't be A. But E could be A. So let's actually get rid of this as well for now, just so we don't get confused. We are working with this. This is the other 4, 8 that's left over, okay? Let's use the A so that we at least name something A. Let's give this one A. And this is, we have B, we have a C, D, E, this is F. Okay? So now, this is either E or A, which means this is either E or A. And this is either D or F. Now, 2 and 6 means this can't be 3, so this is indeed 3. I think this is where we're supposed to have that logic to go, okay, now because this can't be a 3, 4 and 8 cannot work because both of them needs the 3. So therefore this is not A, this is indeed E. This is indeed E. which is a 2 or 6. Which puts A in here somewhere. Okay, so now 2 or 6 both share the 7. So guarantee the 7 in here somewhere. And then the other number can be 9 or 1. Effectively meaning one of these is going to be B or C in here. This is 7. And this is our C 19. 19 looks all the way up here. We know again that this must be the 7. This is the 3. That's all still true. That 19 sees this 3. This is the letter C. 3s are gone from here. This is again 3, 4, 6. Okay, and we're back where we were. Perfect. We are back where we were. No harm, no foul. Okay. Now, 7 is gone from this. This could be 7 though. I'm trying to think what this pivot number would be, right? But we don't have any things that it can't really be to help us eliminate that. So let's take a look. What do we have left? We are missing a 3 somewhere on this line. And nope, we are missing a 2 or 6. So this is a 3, 2, or 6. Whoops. 2, 3, 6, like this. Okay. So from the 4 or the 8, they can go to a 2 or 6, which then go to a 3. So 3 is at the very end. And this is not a 3. This is actually our D. And this is our A. Which makes this an even color. This is an odd color. This is no longer 3. This is an even color. 3 is somewhere in here. We are missing E down here. And C. E and C down here. Here we're missing B, BF, and D. No, it's a number. What are we missing? A 7. Missing 7. This makes us 580. This is not A. A is in here somewhere, along with D or F. Now, we were thinking this has to be a 4 or a 6. Darn, okay, it's not one of our combination numbers, it's this number here. So that doesn't really help us here. 4 or 6. One B or C down here. Okay, well, we know this is a 2, 6 now, so let us make that so. And then 2, 6 doesn't really help us, right? Because they can go to any of the other numbers. But F and D are, I was hoping to be the same polarity. They're not. Okay, but E and D have a relationship, right? Yes, we were looking at this before. Um, if E was a 2, this would go 2, 9, 4. F would be a 4. This would be a 2, so that is possible still. 4. And then 2 into a 6 is still possible. Darn, okay. Shucks. Less helpful than I was hoping for. Okay, this is a 139. Right? It can't be a 5, can't be a 7. It's a 1, 3, or 9. The question is, 7 is being taken here. Could be a 3. We are still missing a 3 in here. Or it could be a 1, 9. 1, 9, 3, which means all even numbers are still available to it. If only there was a different kind of night constraint. Okay. So we know that this doesn't go into 3, right? And it will go into the 1 or 9 that's relevant to it. What I'm trying to say, oh, we already know this can't be an E. Darn. Okay, well, that's less helpful. It's already done for me. I could just do it by Sudoku. 2 or 3? Well, if it's the other 2, 6, then we still can't have 3 on this line. If it's the other 2, 6, right? So if it was a 6, then we have to have 1, 7. So this would have to be the 7. This would always have to be the 7 if it was the other 2, 6. But the other 4, 8 is just not restricted at all. Is there a problem if this was an even number? I don't think so. These can all be odds. This would have to be the 5. This would have to be... This was an odd number, right? What number would this be? 7, maybe? 7's here, 7's here. In fact, yes, this has to be the 7. So the odd number up here is the 7, which is paired on a king. Oh wait, it's a pair with a 4. Huh, okay, how long has that been sitting there? Okay, so it's paired with the 4, which means there's no 4 in here. Therefore, this is the 4. Therefore, this is an 8. So we know that F is the 4. 4 goes into the 9, which goes into a 2. That's 9. That is 6. That is 1. That is 2. 2, 4, 8, 6. So that's a 4, that's a 7. C, I think this was C, right? C is 9. B is 1, yeah. Okay. And then now we can just get rid of this. A was 8. E was 2. 2 goes into 7 and 9, so there's no 1 in here now. 7 and 9. This is not a 9. This is a 1. Leaves us with 8 and a 5. Nope, 8 and a 1 up here. The 8's down here. The 1's up here. And then 6 and 9 can go like this. This is now 1, 2, and 5. That's not a 2. This is not a 1. Get rid of all the letters from this. You go on letters, you're no longer needed. Thank you for your service. Okay. Oh. Sure we didn't forget any Sudoku. This is a 6. 6 can go not into a 3, it goes into a 1. And this is a 1 or 7 is a 1 yet again. That's not an 8. This is a 5. That's a 1. Oh, that's 2, 5 somehow. 6 and 8. It's resolved. Leaves us with 7 and 9. 5 and 3. Of course, this is 4, 6, 8. 2, 5, and a 3 eludes us here. What numbers are left here? We're seeing 8 and 4 somewhere, and then one of these numbers in here. 8 and 4. Very interesting. How about this? 7 and 9. 7 and 9 goes to 2. Neither of them can go to 2, so this is not a 2. Neither of them go to 5. One of them can go to 3. That is the 9. Okay. Came in handy, this rook line. So 9, 3. Can't go to 4 or 8, so this is a 4-8 pair now. Leaves us with 2 or 5, so it must go into the 2. Goes up to the 8. It's done. That's very cool. Okay. Oh, this rook line. 3 goes into anything except for a 7. And then they then go into the 7, and then they go into the other non-7 number. The middle number, we could have done this a long time ago. The middle number has to be a 5, right? So it goes from 2 to 5 to 8, or 8 to 5 to 2. That's not a 5. We are missing 2, 3, and 7 in here. We're missing either 4, 6, 9, and 5. So this is not that. This is that. Okay, so the middle here is either 4 or 9. And then it has to hit some of the other numbers. This is probably not the most helpful one at all. So does a 4 have 2 options? 4 can go to 5 and 6. So, and then 9 can go into 5 and 6. Okay, so that doesn't really help us at all. Okay. Now, where do we look? Is this Sudoku at this point? Could it be? Could it? What are we missing? 1, 4, 6, and 8. I wonder if it's punishing us for not coloring. I think I'll do the easy thing and just uncolor everything instead of spending time to color it. Okay, let's just quickly scan our words. 2s. Threes. Don't really need to corner mark it, but I'll do it anyway. 4s. There must be a 5 in here. This might be relevant. Okay, there must be a 5. Oh, but 5 can go literally to anything. Curse you, queen, and your flexible movement. This is not a 6. And there's a 9 guaranteed on this line. It's here and here. Okay, that actually helps. 5 and 9 are on this line. Obviously they can go together, but let's see. If this was a 9, this would have to be a 5, which is not helpful. But 9 can't go into a 4, so this is not the 9. This must be the 9. And 9, as we said, cannot go to 4, so this is now a 5-6 pair. That 9 helps us here, which helps us here, which helps us here, here, and here. We can remove this and this. Now that tells us this. 3 can be taken out of here. 1s can be taken out of here. 2s can be taken out of here. 4s can be taken out of here. And I think that should do it. Just waiting for that last piece to fall. Literally. Hallelujah. That was pretty fun, I have to admit. It definitely took much longer than anticipated, but I was super excited for this rule set. And there's a couple more, the predecessors that, like, there was a puzzle called, I think, Nightline that inspired GDC to make this one. And then there's another puzzle called Knight Templar that inspired that guy who made Nightline to make that. So there's 2 predecessors leading up to this. But I was really happy to get this one done and out there, hopefully before anybody else does. And again, if you guys do enjoy these, please leave a like, leave a comment. That help motivate me to keep going with all these kind of stuff. I'm gonna go tackle the predecessors, maybe not anytime soon, but we'll get to them eventually.